Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to a brand new video on my channel. So in today's video I'm going to go over what I did to improve my settings and what I did in the DualSense Edge profile, because I just changed something in there for the first time ever and it's been feeling great. So I want to go over all of this in today's video. So before I'm gonna get into these settings, I just want to quickly say you can use these settings even without a DualSense Edge controller. What I changed in the DualSense Edge profile is just a small little thing, but these settings should work fine even without a DualSense Edge controller. So first up, I'm gonna show you all of my apexlegends in-game settings, and then after that we're gonna go over the DualSense Edge profile. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you some recent clips that I've hit with these settings. Alright, let's get right into the gameplay settings. So this is pretty much all personal preference as always. You guys can just copy my settings here if you want to. But yeah, most of these are not that important. Besides this one right here. I've just recently came across a very important information. And that is, even if you have always sprint on like me, which you should have on by the way, this setting right here can mess with your super glides. So if you have this setting on hold, what it does is whenever you climb something, it puts you to 0 velocity, and then when you're walking forward again, it speeds up to the running velocity again. However, if you have sprint control on press, your super glides are going to be way more consistent because it never slows you down to 0 velocity. So this setting is actually very important. So if you have it on hold, just turn this off and then put it on press right here, and then turn always sprint back on. And always sprint should always be on, so you can actually have one more button free for the button layout. But yeah, so the rest here is also pretty much personal preference. Also, I do not use a colorblind mode, and yeah, that's basically all of my gameplay settings. So then let's get into the controller settings, and I'm gonna quickly turn off my cam so you can actually see all of my settings here. So basically this button layout is, in my opinion, the best layout that you can play if you do not play paddles. I know it may be weird. I have a DualSense Edge which has paddles, but I don't use them. I took them off. I've never been a paddle kind of guy. I always liked the feel of default controllers. And I bought the DualSense Edge because it has profiles that you can change stuff in. And because it has a 1000 Hz polling rate, so it has lower latency than the normal PS5 controller. But yeah, these are all of my, this is my button layout right here. Jump with right stick, so I don't have to remove my thumb from the stick. Same thing with the tactical, crouch, interact, all of that. And then I just want to quickly show you how I hold my controller. Basically, I have 2 fingers on the left and I have 1 finger on the right on top. This is how I hold my controller, and this has been the most comfortable for me with this button layout. So, and then crouch on hold is superior than toggle as always. Aim button hold, survival slot button I have off so I can actually spin my heirlooms. I do not use a L2 or R2 button dead zone. This is my menu cursor speed. And now let's get into the actual SENS. So what I've changed in here is, first off, in my normal peroptics right here, as you can see, this is still the same, this is still the same, but my sniper peroptics I've put from 4 to 3. The reason for that is that 3 has a more kind of similar feeling to these peroptics than 4. And I've just been thinking that I do not want these peroptics to just completely feel different to those. So I put them to 3 instead of 4. And I'm going to show you what I changed in the ALC peroptics as well. So right here, these are my ALCs. I still run all 0. and I have the aim assist turned off, so I do not get any weird aim assist overriding when turning off the ALCs to play the normal settings. So basically I just want the entire ALC tab right here to have no effect, or at least not that much of an effect. And then right here, these are my ALC per optics. I put this from 3.0 to 3.1. These are all from 1.8 to 1.9 now. And then these were on 0.8, and now that I have them on 3 in my normal per optics, I put them on 1.1. And that's basically all I changed in my SENS. And I'm gonna show you what I changed in my DualSense Edge profile for the response curve and stuff like that right after the video and audio settings. So let's get into the video settings. Nothing has changed here. Brightness 1 tick above middle. FOV 110. Performance mode. Minimal sprint view shake. FOV ability scaling disabled. And then my audio settings right here. Just pretty basic stuff. I have my dialogue volume on 20 so it doesn't distract me. And then I have the music's turned off, and that's pretty much it. So now let's get into the DualSense Edge profile. So as you can see, I have a profile called Apex on my O button right there, but I don't switch them anyways. I'm always on that one. And what I changed is pretty simple. My button layout in here is completely default. And then right here, this is where I changed something. My left stick is on default. I do not recommend setting this to like quick or dynamic or digital. Default is where you want to be. You don't want your left stick to be overly sensitive, because that can mess up how you strafe. You just basically want to leave your left stick on default. And then my right stick I put on precise, and then the curve adjustment to -5. So as you can see, this will be maximum. This will be like classic in Apex. And then this on -5 is almost like linear. It's just a slight little difference. So I changed this so I have a little bit more control from mid to long range. And also the stick drift is less noticeable if you are on precise. And overall it just makes my aim a little bit more consistent and a little bit more like secure feeling. And if you have a DualSense Edge, I would highly recommend trying this out. This is literally like like linear, but just like a slight touch of classic. So it's basically almost linear. And since Apex does not allow you to do that in game, they just give you the option for either linear or classic. This is a really viable thing that you can do, and I highly suggest you trying it out. And then the rest of my DualSense Edge settings, trigger dead zone is also on default. And the vibration intensity and the trigger effect intensity is both on off. So that was basically all that I have changed in my settings for the next split. And I hope that's gonna actually help me be a little bit more consistent. I've been liking this a lot, and yeah, if you guys have any questions or any suggestions or anything, leave it in the comments down below, and make sure you leave a like. And I'm going to be playing some clips now that I've hit with these settings, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.
Come to the extra if you can.
Watch this nade. Oh!
Yep, I love that.
Oh, there's so many people on us.
I got one shot. Sean, was that funny? Yeah, I'm leaving.
Cool. There's a bang here on me. Healing